Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something pretty cool, pretty relevant, I think, to a lot of us, especially as we head into the colder months. Rocket stoves.
Yeah.
We're talking sustainable heating, how it works, what it means, and whether it's really a viable alternative to our gas furnaces and all that jazz. We've got some great insights from Texto Pagado to help us unpack all this.
Right. And it's a good time for this conversation, too. I mean, there's a reason people are looking for these alternatives. Fossil fuel reliance is a big concern these days. And, well, this Texto Pagado piece does a good job, I think, of laying out both sides, the amazing potential and the realistic challenges.
Definitely. So for anyone who's new to this whole thing, let's start with the basics. What exactly is a rocket stove? What makes it different from, say, just building a fire in your backyard?
Yeah. It's all about efficiency, really. That rocket name isn't just for show, you know? The way these things are designed, they create this super efficient, like, upward draft that basically makes the fuel burn way hotter and cleaner than a regular fireplace.
Okay, so it's not just about aesthetics. There's some real science going on here.
Absolutely.
And speaking of science, you mentioned cleaner burning. That's a big deal these days, environmentally speaking.
Huge. And it ties directly into that efficiency we were talking about. Because you're burning less wood to get the same amount of heat, you're automatically reducing your carbon footprint, less wood, less deforestation, less smoke, less emissions overall. It all adds up, you know?
It does. Okay, so we've got efficiency, we've got the environmental benefits.
Yeah.
But Textil Pagado also highlighted the affordability of these stoves. That's pretty appealing, especially with energy costs being what they are. But is it really that simple? Are there hidden costs we should know about?
That's the thing, right? It's not always as simple as it seems.
Yeah.
On the one hand, yeah, they're incredibly efficient with fuel, which can save you money in the long run. And building one yourself, if you're handy, can be really affordable.
You see a lot of DIY rocket stove plans online, for sure.
Exactly. But there's a learning curve, you know? Building it right, using it safely and efficiently, it's not as simple as just flipping a switch on a gas heater. And the other thing is fuel sourcing. They're efficient, yes, but you need access to that fuel, whether it's wood or something else. Depending on where you live, that can be a challenge.
That's a really good point. You're not just running down to the gas station to fill up a propane tank. It requires a bit more, I guess, forethought and planning.
And maybe a different mindset altogether, you know? It's like, when you think about it, adopting a rocket stove, it's not just about the stove itself, it's about taking a more active role in how you consume energy, where you get your fuel.
Yeah.
It's part of a bigger picture, self-sufficiency, sustainability, all of that.
Right. It's about more than just heating your home. It's about making a choice.
Exactly.
Okay, so to kind of recap what we've learned here, rocket stoves are incredibly efficient, way more so than your average fireplace. They're better for the environment, potentially save you money in the long run,
Yeah.
but they're not quite as simple as just plugging something in and forgetting about it. They require an upfront investment of time and effort, and you really need to have a good source of fuel, whatever that fuel may be.
Exactly. And that actually leads to a really interesting question for everyone listening. You know, we've talked about how efficient these stoves are, but think about the fuel itself. What about places where wood is scarce? Or those who might not be able to, chop wood themselves? How does that impact the feasibility of a rocket stove? It's something to consider, for sure.
It is, and that's something for all of you listening to ponder. We always love leaving you with some food for thought. We'll be back next week with another deep dive into a fascinating topic, but until then, keep those questions coming and keep exploring.